Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas football's 31-27 loss to Kansas State, and I think after talking to Lance Leipold and the Kansas football players, like that is a tough one to swallow. It ends a sour end to I think what was a really good home slate for Kansas here at this stadium next year. And look, behind me, like this is going to be gone in a matter of weeks, and you know it's been an exciting home slate for Kansas this year, and they would have hoped to end it on a better note. And it's a game that you look at really three moments to me determined it. You start in the first half. Seth Keller has a point after blocked. It's returned for 2 points. That's a 3-point swing in a 4-point game at the end, right? And it changes a lot at the end where Cole Ballard and KU go for it on fourth down, trying to get up and take the lead instead of making a 1-point game. And it's a completely different decision-making process if you're talking about K-State having 29 points and KU having 28. So it starts there. And then you get into the second half, right? And right behind me, Rich Miller has the chance to get a pick six that would have made it a 3-score game for KU. And I think that would have ended it because KU had a lot of momentum at that point. And what happens on the next play? A 50-plus yard run because KU doesn't fit the run correctly. And it flips the field. K-State gets some momentum back. And look, I think you got to give credit to KU's defense. They kept battling. And even after Cole Ballard throws his first interception on a really poor throw and a really bad decision for a freshman, I think that felt the need to make a play. He tried and he failed, and the defense had his back though, right? Mello Dotson comes up with another huge interception. I mean, how many big plays has he made this year? And then you get into it, and I think really like the moment that, at least for me in the press box, that it felt like, oh boy, this is not going to go well. It's when Trevor Wilson muffs the punt. KU's defense did great, forcing a 3-and-out with negative yardage. KU's going to get the ball at midfield. And then Trevor Wilson muffs the punt. K-State falls on it. They score the touchdown, and at that point, they take the lead, and it's hard for KU to come back. This is a game that Kansas had to play a perfect game. You're down to your third-string quarterback. Your offensive line is banged up to no end, right? Bryce Cableu doesn't play the second half. Dominic Pooney plays the second half with a bum knee. Mike Nowitzki's been hurt for the last couple weeks. Like, this is an offensive line that is really banged up, and they battled and they went with some weird looks, right? And I think the quarterback position, if that was different for this game, Jason Bean, Jalen Daniels, maybe it's different, but doesn't change anything, right? Cole Ballard was the guy out there. Lance Leipold said that Jason Bean was available to play, but as we've seen this season, the guy that gets the practice reps is going to start. And that's what happened. Cole Ballard got the reps on Sunday. He got the reps on Tuesday. And he got most of the reps probably on Wednesday. Those are the 3 biggest practice days if you're preparing for a game. And so overall, coaches decided that Cole Ballard was the guy that gave them the best chance to win with the chance to build a game plan. And I'll tell you what, KU outcoached K-State for a good portion of this game. Offensively, it was really creative for KU, and they really did a good job of attacking K-State, getting to the edge, and making K-State's young linebackers try and fit the run. And for a while, it didn't work. For K-State, at least. Sorry. It worked for KU. And then in the second half, K-State figured it out. You look at the third downs, right? The first half, it's a lot of 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Second half, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15. Really hard to convert with the freshman quarterback when you're facing a 3rd and long, and K-State can just drop all their guys into coverage and go from there. So I remember this time last year, right? I spent this video talking about progress. Had KU made progress against Kansas State? That answer is pretty apparent right now. Kansas has closed the gap. They competed with K-State for 4th quarters with their 3rd-string quarterback, a freshman who arrived as a walk-on. He's now on scholarship, but that doesn't change his background, right? So, KU's closing the gap. I think that's what, at least for me, my big takeaway is here today. KU needed to play a better game. They needed to play a more clean game. Special teams had to be better, and they weren't, and that's why they lost, right? But you could say that about a lot of games this year in the Big 12, right? You don't play clean football, you play bad special teams, you turn the ball over twice. It's really hard to win football games. But I think it also says something that KU had all those mistakes and was still in the game in the 4th quarter. So hopefully this is the start of a lot of these games being really close, because I think KU and K-State are going to be competing at the top of this conference for the foreseeable future. Chris Kleiman's a good coach. Lance Leipold's a good coach. I'd argue in the new Big 12, the state of Kansas has probably two of the best coaches. Maybe Kyle Whittingham at Utah's up there as well. But, this is a game that maybe is the sign of things to come, where it's competitive and these two teams are really able to compete physically together. And so overall, that's a positive. Obviously, I think the result for KU's not that. Now they've got to flush it, get ready to go to Cincinnati, and the chance to win 8 games. That's still a big milestone for Kansas. 8 games. Be pretty big. So that's what we got right now. Plenty of coverage up on fog.net. Make sure you're checking that out all weekend. Obviously, football season's starting to wrap up, but basketball's picking up. And look, it's going to be a pretty interesting offseason to see what happens. KU's got a really good recruiting class they're going to try and finish with in December. We'll see what happens with the portal. Exciting times ahead for Kansas. They are headed in the right direction, regardless of what the final score says here at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. We'll end it with this. The students showed out. Huge. Student section was packed all game, didn't leave. And I thought the crowd was awesome. It was a great environment for football. And it's a bummer we won't see it like this next year, right, with this behind me going down. But it's pretty exciting to think about what the future of this stadium could hold once it's completed. So, again, exciting times ahead. Those are my thoughts. Stay tuned to the website. We'll talk to y'all later.